Stuff. Let's get going then. Lovely. So happy belated Easter. I hope you all had a nice bank holiday weekend. And there are certainly signs of spring around us, aren't there now, which is encouraging, even more so next week. Just got a bit of a changeable forecast this week. But I was talking to my mum about Easter, and my mum was brought up in a Catholic family, as was I. And so Easter was a very big deal, but very much more so for my mother's generation. And she was telling us that on Easter Sunday, even if it was snowing, it was the time when you went to church in short socks. It was this transition from winter to spring. Literally, you started wearing your spring clothes and you wore a new bonnet when you went into church. But really, lots of religions, not just Catholicism, has a significance around this time of year. So we've got Passover, we've got the Iranian New Year called Nowruz, which happens at this time of year. In Japan, the cherry blossoms are blooming, and it's called Hanami this time of year, where the cherry blossoms are coming into fruition. And it's even the academic start of a school year in Japan. So it's this kind of physical, fresh start. And I always think that this time of year is a far better time of year to be thinking about New Year's resolutions rather than the depths of winter in January. And the word Easter actually comes from, well, the two ideas, either coming from the Latin word for dawn, aurora, or the Anglo-Saxon goddess of spring and fertility, Ostara. So either of them, it is this season of fresh starts, of abundance and renewal, really, kind of shaking off the fog of winter and emerging into spring. So that's what we're going to try and do today, kind of build up a little bit of spring energy and move forward into this new season feeling light and bright and optimistic about brighter days to come. So let's start by lying down, bring your knees in towards your chest and have a little rock, roll side to side. Yeah, definitely feels we're moving away from winter, doesn't it? So really embracing this opportunity to face this season feeling refreshed and ready for longer, sunnier days to come. When you're ready, let's just go ahead and bring the feet down to the floor. You can keep your knees bent, or you can rest your knees against one another. Taking your feet nice and wide, or go ahead and stretch the legs out in front of you, whatever feels good. Resting a hand lightly on your chest and on your belly if that feels comfortable today, or simply having the arms down by the side of the body, whatever feels good. Let's start by welcoming in this new season by connecting with our breath. And just as this spring brings us fresh energy and vigor, so our breath can do the same for us when we're feeling maybe a little bit less than renewed. It has the ability to awaken us, to invigorate us on that inhalation. And simultaneously, that opportunity to release, to let go, anything unwanted and unnecessary on the exhale, that physical manifestation of letting go, of releasing. So as you begin to tune into your breath this morning, seeing how it feels. Maybe if you've got your hands resting on your body, you can feel the breath moving, the ribs, the belly, the chest. Maybe even that more subtle sensation of feeling the back body begin to press down a little bit more deeply, just fractionally so, into the mat as you inhale. And you feel everything soften back down to your center as you exhale. Again, a chance to release. Release the week, the morning thus far. Releasing any tension around the face and shoulders, and the belly and the hips this morning. Winter, I think, is that season of kind of folding in on ourselves and kind of holding ourselves quite tightly against those colder months. And so spring is that opportunity to open and feel a little bit more relaxed. letting go of any tightness from those racing winter winds. Let's just take a couple more breaths here. I'm getting ready to move. Body, find some space. Open things up this morning. So let's start when you're ready, straightening the legs if you've not already done so. And let's just take the arms back above your head into a simple full body stretch there. And do whatever feels nice this morning. Maybe stretch into one side of the body and then the other. So you're having a little kind of wiggle on your mat there. Maybe a little ankle turn and wrist circle there just to bring some gentle movement into the body. Just beginning to waken up slowly on this Wednesday morning. If you're doing those circles, try taking them around in the opposite direction. And then slowly lowering the arms, walking the feet back in. We'll keep them about hip width apart this time. Tucking the tailbone slightly under. Let's hug the right knee up and in towards the chest. Give it a little hug. You can hold in front or behind the knee as you soften the shoulders, widen the elbows. Give that knee a squeeze. Nice release for the low back. And if you want to, take an inhale there. And as you exhale, lifting up, nose towards knee, upper back getting a little bit of love. And then slowly release. Bring the foot to the floor and we'll swap sides. So bringing the left knee up and in. Just pause in stillness for a moment. Maybe notice any subtle differences between how the left and the right side feels. And then relaxing the shoulders, take an inhale. And again, if you wish, as you exhale, nose to knee, chin tucked in. And then release and bring the foot to the floor. Let's see if we can begin to sync that up with your breath. So as you inhale, right knee, give it a hug. And as you exhale, nose to knee, or head and shoulders stay on the floor. Inhale, release. And exhale, bring the foot back down. Left side, inhale, give the knee a hug. And exhale to round on up. Inhale, lower the head. And exhale, bring the foot to the floor. Let's do a few more like that, working with your breath. If you don't want to lift your head and shoulders off the floor this morning, that's absolutely fine. You just stay giving that knee an extra loving squeeze. You do want to lift on up, keeping that chin tucked in so the neck stays nice and long. I'm going to do one more with my right knee coming up and in, rounding up towards the knee. Don't worry about how close you come towards your knee if you're doing that little rounding up action. And one more, finally, with that left side. So I'm nice and balanced. Lowering down, bringing the foot to the floor and just pausing there for a moment. Both feet on the floor, knees pointing up towards the sky. And then we'll bring that right knee back up and in. Head and shoulders stay on the floor this time. Ready for a hamstring stretch. So holding behind the leg. Let's take that leg up towards the sky. Softening into the knee. Relaxing the shoulders again as you just start to circle the foot. Not the knee. So keep the knee nice and still. Let's bring that movement into the ankle joint and then round the opposite way. Bringing things up. They come into a little floor flow to start to build up a little bit of heat in the body. So as you push that heel up towards the sky, start to reach the arms back behind your head like before as you lower that leg down in front of you until the heel hovers. We'll take an inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. And again, maybe nose to knee. As you inhale, extend, stretch the leg out. And as you exhale, give that knee a squeeze. I'm going to do that twice more. If you want to work a little harder, instead of hugging the knee, reach both arms up on either side of your shins. You're using your core muscles a little more. Inhale to stretch. And exhale, last time, rolling on up. Let's extend arms and legs. And then last time, bring that knee up and in. Keep the head and shoulders on the floor as you hug that knee up and in towards your chest one last time. Beautiful. We're going to slide that left leg out in front of you. Pressing the heel down as you bring that left hand onto your right knee. Just bring the right knee across the body into a little twist there. Oh, that was a nice clip through my back. Lovely. And then we'll roll all the way back. And bring that foot down to the floor. Lovely. Other side. So bringing that other knee up and in towards your chest. Beautiful. My computer's just doing something funny, so I just close that down for you. Lovely. And then taking that left leg up into that lovely hamstring stretch. So again, we can soften the back of the knee as you start those little ankle circles on one side. Oh, and you might notice, like me, that one side is feeling much stiffer than the other, and then over to the other direction with those little circles. And then we'll push the heel up towards the sky, ready for that little floor flow on the other side. So release the arms back as you lower the leg, or take an inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, maybe nose to knee, rounding on up. Lovely. Inhale to expand. And exhale to contract, knee to chest, maybe nose to knee. As we do these last two, again, if you want to reach both arms up on either side of your shin, working that core a little bit harder, feel free. And reaching up on either side, or giving that knee a hug. Let's open up one last time. Big stretch. Head and shoulders stay on the floor. Bring that left knee up and in. Slide the right heel away from you. Toes stay up towards the sky as you bring your right hand onto your left knee. Let's come into a little twist, carrying that knee across the body. Ooh, bring up some space in the low back. Lovely. Slowly, slowly release. Keep that knee hugged in. Bring the other one to join it. And take a little rock or circle, whatever feels nice there. Maybe the knees going round close together, or you can widen them and have your big toes touching. Whatever feels good for the low back and the hips. Whatever you're doing, just change direction. Your self-soothing massage there. And if you're feeling vibrant and full of energy today, cross the ankles, hold behind your knees, and we'll roll our way up to seated. If that's not for you, just find your way up to seated. I'm going to sit cross-legged, but you never have to take that option. You can stretch the legs out in front of you, no problem at all. So sitting up nice and tall, bring the fingertips down just by your hips so you can lift on up through your breastbone. Lifting the chin parallel to the floor, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And as you inhale, let's reach up nice and tall towards the sky. And as you exhale, hands to heart, drop the chin down towards your chest so we open up into the back of the neck. Twice more, inhale. Big breath in, drawing that new energy into the body, setting ourselves up for the rest of the day, the rest of the week. One more time, big reach up, big breath in. And hands coming all the way down. This time we'll bring the right hand down to the floor. A little softness in the elbows. You take the left arm up and over the top. And try and have the palm down and the arm straight on that top arm. Lovely. So this top arm, we're going to sweep in front of you like the arm is sliding across a flat surface. A little reach over to the left. And then we pull the thumb all the way back up, opening chest to sky. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, sweep the arm across the body as far as is comfortable for you. And then inhale, open up through the chest. Let's do that twice more. Oh, so it's a good stretch out for the low back, as well as opening up some space in the chest. Last time. Lovely. We're going to pause and hold in that lovely side bend. Maybe start to push the floor away. Tucking the chin in as you bump the hips and the ribs over to the left. Beautiful. Push off the underneath hand. Let's come all the way up through the middle. Then left hand down, right arm this time comes over the top. Little softness in that supporting elbow to begin with. Palm down. And the arm is straight. This is comfortable. So this time that right arm, you reach over to the side. And then we come all the way in front of you. And then sweeping up, thumb pulls back. We'll take an inhale. And exhale to take that arm across the body. Lovely. Inhale, thumb pulls back. Chest lifts. And exhale again, that lovely stretch out. Let's do that twice more. Linking in with your breath. So again, you might feel that in your low back, keeping both sit bones connected. Let's pull the thumb back and pause there now. Maybe taking your chin in. Bumping the ribs slightly over to the right. Lovely. Pushing off the underneath hand. Let's take a breath in. And this time as you breathe out, both hands come behind you, coming onto your fingertips. So you can roll the shoulders, pressing the fingertips into the floor, open up through the chest. Breathing in as you open up across the collarbones. As you breathe out, release. Just have a look down at your legs if they're crossed, and just cross them the opposite way. It might feel a little bit strange there now. Lovely. Both arms lift up. Let's come into a twist. Inhale. Exhale, let's twist round to the right. So one hand in front, the other lightly behind. Up through the middle. Inhale. Chest and gaze turning as you move from side to side. We'll do one more over to the right side. Lovely, waking up into the spine. One more over to the left side. Whole body turning. Lovely, and then again, we'll reach both arms up. And swimming the hands behind you again up onto your fingertips or flat palms if that's more comfortable. Once more, opening up through the chest. I've got a little softness in my elbows. Squeezing the shoulder blades gently together. Again, breath in to open. And breathing out to release, release. Coming over onto all fours now. So padding up any tender knees this morning. Spreading the hands nice and wide under your shoulders, bringing the knees directly under your hips there. So you're in that nice tabletop position. And something I tend to forget that the neck is part of my spine. So I kind of droop my head a little bit. So bringing the gaze forward, chin slightly tucked into your gazing just in front of your fingertips. A little tuck of the tailbone under, so we're not sticking our bottom up and back in engagement through that core, keeping us nice and safe. And from here, let's come into our cat and our cow. So as you inhale, dip your belly. Now we can lift the tailbone in the chest. And then exhale, rounding up like an angry cat. Press into your hands firmly. Inhaling, upwards forwards. Imagine dragging your wrists towards your knees. And then exhale, pressing down. A couple more like that, beginning to energize the body with the breath, that gentle movement. Do that one more time, inhaling and exhaling, keeping that angry cat position. Press into your hands, tuck your tailbone under and just nudge the hips from side to side. Just get a little stretch going on around the low back and into the side waist. And then just wiggle your way back into that tabletop position. Lovely. I'll come round and face you now. We're going to take that right leg all the way back behind you, ball of foot to floor, and just roll gently back and forth, tucking the toes under, again, keeping that navel to spine connection, taking care that the head hasn't drooped. Lovely. Then we're going to take that right leg all the way out to the right, lining up your big toe with your knee. Again, coming into that cat and cow, so a little bit more in the hips now. Try and tilt your tailbone up as you bring your chest forwards. It might not be a big movement. And then as you exhale, we round on up like an angry cat. So inhaling, same movement as we did before, only with that leg extended. You can maybe feel it more in the inner thigh. Twice more, inhale, pressing into hands, chest pulls forwards, tailbone tilts up, and really try and get that movement through the pelvis. So good to free things up here. Keeping that angry cat shape, walk your hands back towards your knee, and we'll rise on up into gate pose. Now, if it's too much with that right leg extended, you can always bend the knee today. That's no problem. Pressing the hips forward. So let's take an inhale over to the right as you exhale. Beautiful. Inhale through center. Exhale other way. So either just reaching down toward the floor, or you might be able to reach the floor and reach the arm over the top. Lovely. Wherever you are, let's move with the breath. Inhale to come all the way up and over. And exhale over to the left, either reaching toward the floor, or maybe you can reach the floor. Inhale, pushing up. So again, working through those obliques. Exhale, let's come all the way down. Let's do that one more time. So inhale to draw yourself up. This next time we'll pause and hold. So you might just stay here, reaching over on the diagonal. Some of you might be able to bring the hand down and reach the arm across the top of the head. And if you want that added bonus, you lift the top leg, pulling the thumb back, flexing the foot. Lovely, lower the foot. We'll bring the hands all the way back out in front of you and find yourself back onto all fours. And from all fours, tuck the toes under, send your bottom back towards your heels. And just have a little rock from side to side, just massage out through the balls of the feet there. And then we're going to try that all on the other side. So coming back up onto all fours. And this time we'll take the left leg straight back behind you, gazing forwards, navel to spine as you just rock back and forth. A little massage for the toes again. Waking up through the back of the leg. And then we'll pause, taking that left leg out to the left. So roughly lining up your big toe with your knee, ready for those cat and cow variations. So again, as you inhale, you tilt your tailbone up, you pull your chest forwards. And exhale to round up like an angry cat. Inhale. So again, there might not be as big a range of movement. Now we're just moving the one side as you had with both knees underneath you. Well, let's do that twice more, but do your best to isolate that movement in the pelvis. One more. And this next time when you found the angry cat position, pause, walk your hands back up and find your gate pose. Again, making those adaptations on the left leg if you need to. We'll take an inhale, and over the top as you exhale down that leg. Inhale through the middle. Fingertips either toward the floor, or again, some of you might reach the floor. Pushing off, let's take an inhale over to the left. And exhaling over to the right. So again, we're building up a little bit of strength in the side body. And the chorus, we windmill from side to side. Let's do one more. Might have given you an extra bonus one on this side. Inhale. Exhale, pausing. So again, you might just be reaching up on the diagonal, fingertips reaching toward the floor. Those of you that can reach the floor, pulling the thumb back. Maybe lifting that top leg, flex foot, hips press forwards. Lovely, lower the leg, bring the hands down and find your way back onto all fours. Tucking the toes under, let's take an inhale. And as you exhale this time, let's push up into a downward dog. Stay on all fours. If you're in that downward dog, start that little pedaling action through the feet, bending one knee and then the other as you up the hips from side to side maybe. Just feeling nice and loose and easy in that downward dog, so nothing too rigid. Then finally coming to stillness. So now maybe popping a bend in the knees so you can send your ribcage back towards your thighs, sending those heels back down toward the floor, not worrying if they don't touch, just feeling that lovely sense of space in the back of the legs. Lovely. We're starting to build a little bit of flow here. You're going to bend your knees generously, look forwards, and then lightly step or spring your right foot forwards and lower the back. Untucking the toes. Let's sweep the arms out to the sides. Breath in. As you breathe out, bringing both hands down, we're going to frame that front foot and tuck the back toes under. Lifting your chest as you inhale, moving the hips back into a hamstring stretch as you exhale. Lovely, pausing there, just making sure that your bottom hasn't nudged itself over to the left, so squaring up through the hips. You can stay here, chest nice and high, or inhale to lift, and exhale, see if you can come down a little deeper into that hamstring stretch. Lovely. Let's plant that front foot into the mat, pick up the back knee, and step to the top of your mat, into a forward fold, cradling the elbows on this first round, gently swaying the body from side to side, moving over those legs in whatever way feels comfortable. And then letting go of your elbows, sliding the hands up to your shins or your thighs, coming up into a flat back. Let's take an inhale and exhale to fold. Rising up slowly, sweeping the arms all the way out and up. Big breath in as you reach for the sky. And exhaling, bringing the hands down to the heart. Let's adjust my camera slightly so you can see me. Lovely. So we're at the top of the mat. Let's take an inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, swing the hands behind you this time and interlace them. So maybe this is where you stay, drawing the knuckles down. Lovely, stretch across the chest. Or bend the knees and start to fold forward and the arms will come up and over, draping your belly over the legs. Nice stretch out through the shoulders. If that's too much, just reach the fingertips to the floor. Releasing those arms onto the low back. Let's sweep the arms forwards and up as you inhale. And then finding your chair pose as you exhale, so the hands might be at the heart, straight in front of you, or like me, up in that lovely generous V. Looking forwards as you send your weight back into your heels, knees on top of your ankles. Lovely. Now we'll rise on up to stand. Option to stay there or adding a cheeky heel lift, balancing on the balls of the feet. Slowly lower the heels as you release the arms all the way back down, coming back to the heart. Lovely. Bend the knees, sweep the arms out and up. Let's take an inhale folding over the legs as you exhale. Sliding up into your flat back as you inhale. This time as you exhale, let's step the right leg back, lowering the knee and flattening the toes. Arms sweep out to come up. Big breath in. And breathing out, fingertips finding the floor. Tucking the back toes as you lift your chest. Inhale. And moving the hips back into that hamstring stretch. So again, on this first round, just getting those little refinements, making sure that your hips are straight back behind you, not veering off to the right this time, pulling the toes towards your face. You can stay there, or again, take an inhale as you lift up. And exhale to fold over the legs, chin tucking in, feeling that hamstring stretch. Oh, hello, hamstring. That's it. And then rolling through that front foot, planting the hands, picking up the back knee. And this time we'll step back into a downward dog, or feel free to come onto all fours. You can always skip this, or we'll start to flow, rolling into plank as you inhale. And exhaling, knees down, chest down for this first round. The hands might be wide, or keep them by your shoulders as you hug those elbows in. Heeling the chest up into your cobra as you breathe in. And rolling back down, breath out. So twice more, so you can always take those hands super wide to afford yourself more space this morning. It's not a cheat. It's just listening to how stiff your shoulders are. One more time, inhale. And exhale to roll back down. This time let's push up onto all fours, tuck the toes, sit back onto your heels again into that half dog. Again, maybe a little wag of your tail from side to side, see how that feels. Nice. And then finding your way back onto all fours, and from all fours, downward dog. So we're going to start to pick up the pace a little bit, doing that same sequence on the left side with our breath. So as you bend your knees, look forwards. As you inhale, step the left foot forwards, lower the knee, flatten the toes. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And exhale, hands frame that front foot. Tucking the toes, lift the chest to breath in. Moving the hips back as you breathe out. Breathing in, plant the foot, pick up the back knee. As you breathe out, stepping into your forward fold at the top of the mat. Lifting up into your halfway lift, flat back, breathing in. And breathing out to fold. Let's rise on up to stand, sweeping the arms all the way out, up. And hands drawing down to your heart. Lovely, inhale. And again, swim the hands behind you this time, maybe changing the other little finger on top. Draw the knuckles down, breath in. And breathing out, taking that forward fold, lots of knee bends, so you can allow your belly to drape over the legs. And then when you're there, maybe this time you straighten off the legs a little bit. Breathing into that space between your shoulder blades. And then releasing that bind as you inhale, sweep the arms forwards and up. An option to stay there, or this time, rising up onto the balls of feet. Add that little challenge. Beautiful. And then slowly, slowly lower the heels. And bring the hands all the way back down to your heart. Lovely. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And exhale to fold. Let's lift up halfway. This time as you exhale, left leg, slide it back. And flatten the toes. Sweep the arms up, breath in. And breathing out, swim the hands down, tuck the back foot under. Let's lift the chest, breath in. And find your hamstring stretch. Lovely. Lifting your chest, breath in. And breathing out to fold. And again, just breathing into that hamstring stretch there. Pulling the toes back towards your face. Lovely. Rolling through that front foot, planting the hands, picking up the back knee. Stepping back into your downward facing dog. Breathing in to roll forwards to plank. And breathing out, knees down, chest down. 3 little back bends, maybe hands wide or tucking those elbows in, hands close to the shoulders as you lift the chest into your cobra. And rolling back down. Remember, Sphinx pose might be an alternative here as we do that twice more. Opening up through the front body, keeping those shoulders away from the ears. Last time, inhale. And exhale to fold. Now, option to come onto all fours, or this time tuck your toes, lift your kneecaps and push up through plank as you inhale. And exhale, we'll all meet in downward facing dog. From your downward dog, walk your hands back towards your feet. So we're at the back of the mat again, draping the body over the legs. And then roll your way up. Let those arms dangle in front of you. And have a little roll through the shoulders. So any shoulder issues, maybe you want to just continue with those shoulder rolls. Or if you want a little bit more, we're going to interlace the hands, push the palms forwards and up towards the sky. Love it. And then bring the hands behind the head. Then take a little side bend over to the right. Push those arms across on the diagonal. And then coming all the way up, you're going to start to circle the arms around the head. If that feels good. If that doesn't feel good for the shoulders, so the hips start to move, really good flossing out for the shoulders. It's a funky move there. You can always roll the shoulders instead. If you're doing that little hands around the head, then just change direction. So palms are up and you're just rolling the arms around the head there. Oh, that gets into the shoulders and the back. Let's do that a couple more times. My new funky move. Hope you like it. Let's do that one more time. And then coming to stillness, sweeping those palms all the way up towards the sky, pressing up through the index fingers. Let's take an inhale and over the top as you exhale. Doesn't matter which way you go because you're inhaling through the middle. And then over to the other side, balancing things out. Lovely, reaching up as you separate your hands. And as you exhale, let's come back down into a forward fold. So at the back of the mat, lifting up halfway. And then walking into your downward dog, taking the hands forwards, lifting those hips up nice and high. So we're going to repeat that little sequence we did before with some add-ons. If you want to stay low and just repeat what we've just done, then that's fine. If you want to add a little bit of fire to your flow, we're going to bend that left knee and send your right leg up behind you. Stretching out through the leg. Think about lengthening the leg behind you rather than how high you can get it. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, step that foot forwards, top of the mat. So we're going to hop that left foot out to the left, coming up into a high lunge this time. So when you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms all the way out and up. And as you exhale, bring the hands down. We're going to frame that front foot. So option one, maybe you stay here in a nice low lunge, taking the chest forwards. Or inhale to look forwards. And as you exhale, move those hips up and back into your pyramid pose. Both legs are straight. Bending that front knee, looking forwards, take an inhale. And exhale, hips high. You can always do this with your back knee down. One more time, inhale, bending that front knee. And exhaling, finding your hamstring stretch. Beautiful. So if you're in that pyramid, you're sending that back heel toward the floor. Bowing down over that front leg, maybe with a generous bend in the knee. And then we'll all bend that front knee, look forwards. And as you inhale, step to the top of your mat into a flat back. And exhale to fold. Lovely. We're going to rise all the way up to stand. Take an inhale. And exhaling, hands to heart. Beautiful. Inhale, arms left. Exhale, hands swim behind you, interlace them again, maybe swapping the interlace over, other little finger on top. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold down over the legs. Again, maybe the legs are straighter this time, maybe the arms coming a little further forward as you open up into the shoulders. And then releasing the hands onto the low back. As you inhale, sweep the arms forwards and up. And as you exhale, find your chair pose. So again, option to bring the arms a little lower. And maybe you stay here, gazing forwards, or maybe this time you add a little challenge, lifting both heels off the floor, still in that chair pose. Can you keep your heels lifted now as you rise on up to stand? It's a real challenge for balance. And then lower the heels as you bring the arms all the way down and back to the heart. Bending the knees, sweep the arms out and up. Let's take an inhale and exhale to fold. Lifting up halfway, breath in. As you breathe out, this time straight back into your downward facing dog or all fours. You can skip this bit or flow into a plank as you inhale. Maybe knees off the floor this time as you exhale, down onto your belly. Finding your cobra, or maybe this time an upward dog, pressing into palms of hands, tops of feet. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Take your time. Hips nice and high. Heels dropping down behind you as you bend your right knee. Stretching out through that left leg. Then we're going to float the left leg all the way up and back behind you again. Think about long, long left leg. Lovely. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, step it forwards, top of the mat, hopping that right foot out to the right for stability. Arms come out to come up. Take an inhale as you rise on up into that high lunge. And as you exhale, fingertips find the floor. So you can always lower the back knee, do your hamstring stretch. Or inhale as you look forwards. And exhale, lifting both hips up nice and high as you straighten both legs. Bend the front knee, inhale, look forwards. Into your pyramid pose, exhale. One more time, inhaling. Back knee off the floor, if you wish. And we'll all find that hamstring stretch. So maybe your back knee's on the floor, the front leg is straight. Maybe like me, you've got two straight legs in our pyramid. Lovely, gazing towards your back heel if you're in that pyramid pose. And then let's all bend that front knee. And as you inhale, step to your flat back at the top of the mat. And exhale to fold. Let's rise on up to stand. Breath in. And breathing out, hands coming to heart. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands swim behind you. Exhale. Open up through the chest. Last time. Exhale to fold. Again, you can always just come straight into a forward fold without that shoulder opener, just with both arms in front of you. Lovely. Couple of breaths there. Lovely one to release the shoulders when it's strong. Let's release the arms, sweeping the fingertips forwards and up. Let's take an inhale. And then into your chair pose again, moving the arms to wherever feels comfortable. Maybe again you want that cheeky balance, adding that heel lift. You're balanced on the balls of the feet. And maybe you're going to rise up to stand, keeping those heels lifted. Beautiful. Slowly lower the heels as you sweep the arms all the way back and down. Hands coming to heart. Lovely. Last little vinyasa. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale to fold. Lifting up halfway, breath in. And two big steps back into your downward dog. If you're ready for it, into that plank as you inhale, you can always skip this bit down onto your belly as you exhale. Finding your back bend, cobra, or maybe an upward dog. Or meet in downward facing dog. Beautiful. From your downward dog, looking forwards towards your hands. And you can walk, you can step, or you can hop to the top of your mat. Lifting up halfway. And folding back down. Let's rise on up. Sweeping those arms out and up one last time. And then bringing the hands down to the heart. I'm just going to come to the other side of my mat so I can start to mirror you. So a little balance sequence here. Beginning to work a little bit more slowly, but with control. And so making sure you've got space behind you to step your right leg back first. And so balance is all about that control and that kind of calming the mind to focus on trying to maintain your balance. Wobbles are good. Remember, you can always use the floor. And so as you bring the hands onto your hips and shift the weight into your left foot and peel your right heel up, just make sure that you've not kind of nudged the hips out to the side, that you're pulling up nice and tall out of that standing leg. That's our first little trick. And then from there, we're going to lift that right knee up towards the chest, or maybe just keep the ball of the foot on the floor. Beautiful. Let's bring the hands at the heart as you flex that right foot. Our little balance sequence. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to start to take that right leg back. Coming into your warrior three, lowering the front body. Maybe releasing those arms back by the side of the body. Wobbles in that front foot are good. Now slowly and with control, we're going to land that right foot into your warrior two. Heel in, toes out, opening up those arms left to right. Making those little micro adjustments as you sink into that front knee. Beautiful. Left palm turns up, and as you inhale, let's reach up and back. As you exhale, forearm to thigh, top arm up or up and over. Inhaling, reaching up and back, strong in the legs. And exhale once more over the top. Lovely. We're going to come back into your warrior. So this is where we need a little bit of balance. We're going to drop that right arm and at the same time pivot on the back foot. So we're in a high lunge facing the top of the mat. Beautiful. How we're doing. I'm going to see if we can come into our warrior three. So pushing off that front foot, reaching the leg all the way back behind you. Lovely. And then knee to chest. You're going to reach both arms up towards the sky, running up space. Option to stay there, or can you straighten that front leg, right leg extended. Knee to chest. Foot to floor and hands to heart. Give those legs a little shake. Ran out of space there. And then we'll try that on the other side. So hands on the hips. So as you shift the weight into your left foot this time, right foot this time, so you're going to pick up the left leg. Again, just make sure that you're not bumping the hips out to the side, so we're nice and tall. And then from there, as you lift maybe the left knee, flexing the foot, bringing the hands to the heart, you can always keep the foot on the floor. Lovely. Slowly, slowly, let's start to lower the front body, taking the leg back. You can always tap the toes down, or keeping that leg lifted, reaching the left leg back. Maybe releasing the arms so the palms are facing down, the back of the hands are pushing up towards the sky. Lovely. And then with control, we're going to land that left foot. And open up into your warrior two, facing the other way. So we've got that front knee bent. And pulling the little fingers back as you open up through the chest. Lovely. Right palm up. And as you inhale, reach up and back. And as you exhale, hand or forearm to thigh, top arm up. Or up and over. Lovely. Inhale, reaching all the way up and back. And exhaling, forearm or hand to thigh, top arm up or up and over. Beautiful. Finding your warrior. Okay, so this back arm, this left arm, we're going to drop the arm, a little pivot on those back toes. So we're in our high lunge facing the top of the mat. Beautiful. We're going to push off that front foot. See if you can revisit your warrior three. Beautiful, team. And now slowly, slowly, knee comes to chest. As you take those arms up, you can tap the foot down. Maybe staying here or extending that left leg in front of you, reaching the arms up, up, up. And then knee to chest. And foot to floor, hands to heart. Have a little pad out through the legs. A little shake out. Beautiful. And then our last little standing pose, again, just finishing with a balance, great to calm the mind. So shifting the weight into your left leg, I'm going to peel the right heel up again, lifting that knee. This time reaching down and maybe bringing that foot up above the knee or bringing it below the knee as you find your tree pose. Pulling up and out of that standing leg once more. Beautiful. Now maybe you stay here, just focus on your balance today. Or let's take the arms all the way out and up. Take an inhale as you reach for the sky, palms touch. And exhale, go ahead and bring those hands down to the heart. Lovely. Other way. So bringing the arms all the way up. Let's take an inhale. And exhale to circle all the way back to the heart. That way, feel wobbly. Beautiful. Pausing, hands to heart, lifting up a little bit taller. Beautiful. And then pointing that knee forwards, bringing the foot down to the floor, having that little pad out side to side. Swapping sides as you lift the left knee. Maybe that's your tree pose today, using the floor for support or reaching down, snuggling that foot in. Again, if you're bringing it above your knee, just make sure you're not pushing the hips out to the side. We're pulling up nice and tall. Lovely. And again, maybe you want to stay here. Or sweeping the arms all the way out and up, breath in as they meet overhead. And breathing out to come all the way back down. Other way, inhale. And exhale, big slow release. Beautiful, pausing there just for a breath or two longer, seeing if you can maintain that focus. And then pointing the knee forwards, bring the foot to the floor. Bending the knees, sweep the arms out and up. Let's take an inhale and exhale to fold. Inhaling, lifting up halfway. And 2 big steps back into your downward dog. Your downward dog, rolling forwards to plank, and by any means, knees being used or not, come down onto your belly, hands underneath your forehead, just stretching the legs back behind you. Maybe have a little rock across the front of your hips there, allowing everything to release. And then right heel coming in as though you want to kick your bottom, so we've got a flexed foot. Maybe that's where you stay today. Or maybe you can reach around with your right hand, catching your trousers, or bringing the hand around the front of the foot. If you perhaps take your knee out to the side to catch your ankle, make sure both knees are brought back into parallel. Pressing the hips down as you bring that heel in towards your bottom. And getting that lovely stretch out through the thigh muscle there, through the quad. Nice, steady breaths. And then releasing that leg, and we'll simply swap sides. So left heel coming in, flex foot. And maybe you stay there as though you're wanting to kick your bottom. That's working the hamstring. If you want the stretch, then the left hand reaches round. Both knees are parallel and both knees are on the floor, so it's tempting to lift the knee. But the hips are pressing down and the knee is lengthening away from the top of your hip. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly release. Coming back onto all fours. And just pausing there as you round your back for a moment. Stretching out through the back of the body. And a little challenge to finish off before we stretch it out. So staying on all fours, we're going to slide that right leg all the way back behind you, lifting the leg up without sinking in the middle. So firm up through the belly. Heel is pressing away from you. We're going to take an inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, nose to knee. Leg goes straight back behind you, toes down. Inhale, look forwards. And exhale, knee to chest. Rounding the back. This time, keep the knee bent. Take the toes up to the sky as you inhale. And exhale, squeezing in. Lovely. One more time with a bent knee. Toes extend up. And exhale to round. We're going to take those toes up towards the sky and pause. Now we've got the option to stay here, just taking the toes up, pressing into your hands. Or left arm reaches forwards. Turn the palm away from you as you sweep it back behind, reaching towards the back of the mat. Maybe you stay there, or maybe you can take hold of your foot. Push your foot into your hand into the foot, and lift up nice and tall through the chest. Lovely. You're holding your foot, slowly, slowly let it go. Let's come back onto all fours, give those wrists a little shake, and then we'll swap sides. So as you press into your hands, slide the left leg back, straight leg, as you lift it up again without dipping in the middle. So firm up through your center as you extend back. We'll take an inhale, knee to chest, nose to knee, exhale. Straight leg back behind you, inhale, chest forwards, and exhale to round. Knee bent this time, toes up to the sky, breath in. And breathing out, bringing that knee to your chest. One more time, so the toes are up, the knee is bent. Squeezing on in. Let's take those toes up to the sky again. Option, we stay here. Or this time, reach the right arm forward, palm away from you as you reach to the back of your mat. Stay there. Take hold around the front of the foot, pushing your foot into your hand into your foot, so you're opening up across the chest. Beautiful. Slowly, slowly releasing. And this time, knees go nice and wide, big toes point together. Send those hips back. And take a moment in child pose. Oh, you haven't had one today. And so relish this pose of repose. And obviously you can bring your knees a little closer together if it's not nice to have your hips wide with the knees towards the outer edges of your mat. Take a moment to release, to let go. Allowing the body to soften. Catching up with your breath. And when you're ready, lifting the head, lifting the chest, finding your way back onto all fours, drawing the knees and the ankles together so you can spin those legs round to one side and then stretch them both out in front of you. And so again, being generous with that knee bend, if your hamstrings have felt a little tight today, or popping yourself up on a little pillow or cushion, or take an inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale and fold over the legs, remember if your hamstrings are tight, that's always an alternative to just bring your hands around the back of the legs. Otherwise, allowing the body to melt forwards over the legs, chin tucked in. No striving to reach your toes. If you can reach your toes, then that's great, but if not, you're still getting a lovely stretch. Allowing the breath to settle. Slowly going to roll our way back up, bringing that right heel in towards you and just letting that knee roll open to the side as your heel snuggles in towards your groin. Just pull that left hip back a little bit so you're square over the extended leg, reaching the arms up, breath in, folding down as you breathe out. And if you can comfortably reach your foot, you might cross at your wrists so you can hold the inside and outside edge of that foot, easing your way down over the leg. Melting the body down. Slowly rolling your way back up. And keeping those legs as they are, we'll reach the arms up to the sky, breath in. And we'll take a twist round to the right as you breathe out. Inhale through center. And changing direction, opposite sides. Breathing in, one more each way. So again, we're turning the body round. Maybe looking over your back shoulder to get that lovely rotation through the spine. Beautiful, reaching the arms up. This time we should bring both hands behind you. You can come up onto fingertips or lean into your palms. We're going to bend that right knee and just slide the foot a little further away from you. I've got it roughly level with my left knee. Pressing into your hands, open up through your chest. We've got the option to stay there or without dropping the head back, lifting the hips as you point the toes down towards the floor. Squeeze at the bottom, looking up rather than back. Let's take an inhale and rolling down as you exhale. Straighten out both legs, breath in as you reach up and down into your forward fold. Breathing out, chin tucked in, neck nice and long. Again, you can bend both knees generously. Easing the body down. And then as you roll yourself back up, sliding that left heel in towards you, opening the knee out to the side, or you can stay with both legs in front of you, reaching up to the sky, breathing in. And down over the right leg. Again, you can cross at the wrist, take hold of the inside and outside edge of that right foot. And just notice if you're kind of leaning towards one side or the other. So you're trying to have an evenness across your upper back as you ease over that leg. Coming up through the center, reaching those arms up, breath in. And we'll twist around to the left first of all, breathing out. Up through the middle. And in the opposite direction. Let's do one more each way. Lovely one to rotate the spine. Let's do one more over to the right. Beautiful, reaching the arms up so you can swing them behind you this time. Leaning into your hands, pointing that knee up towards the sky and sliding the foot roughly level with your knee or your shin. Take it further away from you if you need to. Pressing into your hands, lift your chest, point your toes. And then maybe continuing to lift your hips up off the floor. Again, without dropping the head back, pointing the toes down. Take an inhale. And exhale to release. Extend the legs, give them a shake. Then making sure your heels are towards the top of your mat. Let's flex the feet, reach the arms out in front of you. And slowly and with control, can you roll your way down onto your back, vertebrae by vertebrae. Reaching both arms back above your head. Find that lovely full body stretch. Have a little wiggle there. Lovely. And then bring that right knee up and in towards your chest. Keep the left leg extended if it's comfortable. If not, you can bend your knee. Lovely. Holding behind the leg, let's take that leg up into one last final hamstring stretch. Again, we've got the option to stay there. Or again, sliding the hands up the leg as you round to your back, nose towards knee as you bring that leg towards you. Lovely. Slowly lower the knee. Bring that knee in towards your chest as you use your left hand for a final little twist, bringing that knee across the body. Rolling onto your back, finding that full body stretch one last time. Point the toes, maybe arch the back a little bit. And then left knee, give it a squeeze. You can always rebend that right knee, or keeping the leg firmly pressing into the mat as you take that left leg up and towards that hamstring stretch, pulling the toes towards your face. An option again to lift yourself up, nose towards your knee, while the heel is on the floor for anchoring in stability. And then lower down, right hand on the knee this time, coming into that lovely final twist, bringing the knee across the body. And coming all the way back through center, keep that knee hugged in, bring the other knee up to join it. And big toes touch, knees nice and wide, sliding the hands down towards the top of your ankles. Pressing your heels towards your bottom as you try and release the lower back into the mat, like you're allowing it to sink into the floor beneath you. And this might be more than enough hip stretch, or again, you can lift yourself up, taking hold of the outside or inside edges of your feet and find that happy baby pose. Again, the sense of heaviness around your low back, maybe a little movement there if that feels good. Drawing those knees down towards your armpits. And slowly releasing, bringing those knees in towards your chest. Maybe again, nose towards knee as you round up into one last little ball. And as you lower the head, lower the shoulders, bringing the legs into whatever position is comfortable for Shavasana, maybe feet wide, knees knocking together, or stretching the legs out in front of you. I'm just going to come up to seated so I can talk to you. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And if no one's there, maybe breathe out with a bit of sound. Sigh the breath out, that real sense of letting things go. Let's do that again. A nice breath in through the nose. Let the breath go. Allowing the body to settle into whatever position you've arranged yourself in for a few moments of Shavasana. To now a moment to think ahead into this beautiful season of spring. Tolstoy wrote, spring is the season of projects and plans. I'll just read you these words as you rest easy in Shavasana by a beautiful Irish poet called John O'Donoghue, who wrote this Easter blessing. A little bit late, but nevertheless, the sentiment, I think, can linger long after Easter. At this Easter time, let us look again at the lives we have so generously been given. And let fall away the useless baggage that we carry, old pains, old habits, old ways of seeing and feeling. And let us have the courage to begin again. Life is very short, and we are no sooner here than it's time to depart again. And we should use the time that we still have. We don't realize all the good we can do. Kind, encouraging word or a helping hand can bring many a person through dark valleys in their lives. We weren't put here to make money or to acquire status or reputation. We were sent here to search for the light of Easter in our hearts. And when we find it, we are meant to give it away generously. The dawn that is rising this Easter time is a gift to our hearts. And we are meant to celebrate it and to carry away from this holy ancient place the gifts of healing and light and the courage of a new beginning. At any time of year, those words ring true. Importance of being kind to others, kind to ourselves, of using this one and precious life that we have to make the most of each and every day. As you begin to lengthen and deepen that breath, looking forwards with hope and optimism into this light, bright season ahead of us, as you gently bring some movement back into your body. You're feeling awake, open and stretched this morning, and maybe finding some space behind you and in front of you in that lovely full body stretch for a moment. Reaching the arms back. Take a couple of breaths there into that full expanse of your being. And then as you lower the arms and walk the heels back in towards you, giving those knees one final loving squeeze. All rolling, turning to one side and coming to seated. From that position, let's bring again the fingertips down, just down by the side of the body so you can lift your chest. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful. Let's take one last long, glorious deep inhale together, reaching the arms up, gathering all of that lightness and brightness of the season and drawing it down to your heart as you exhale. And wishing each other a belated happy Easter and a wonderful season of spring ahead. Namaste. Thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your day.